First contact and revelation. The vast expanse of space had never felt so small to Captain Ilara Chen as she stood before the imposing gates of the Galactic Council chambers. Her heart raced, not from the artificial gravity or the slightly thinner atmosphere of the space station, but from the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. As the first human representative to address the Council, she carried the hopes and dreams of Earth on her back. The doors hissed open, revealing a cavernous hall filled with beings of every imaginable shape, size, and composition. Some floated in containment fields, others stood on multiple appendages, and a few seemed to shimmer in and out of existence. But all eyes, optical sensors, and other sensory organs were fixed on Ilara as she strode to the center of the chamber. "Greetings, esteemed members of the Galactic Council," Ilara began, her voice steady despite her nervousness. "I am Captain Ilara Chen of Earth, here to formally introduce humanity to the galactic community." A ripple of murmurs and translated whispers swept through the chamber. The head counselor, a being that resembled a sentient crystal formation, leaned forward. "Welcome, Captain Chen." The counselor's voice reverberated through the room. "We have observed your species from afar and find you most unusual. Please enlighten us about your world." Ilara nodded, activating a holographic display. Images of Earth's blue oceans, green forests, and bustling cities filled the air around her. Earth is a planet of great diversity, teeming with life in various ecosystems. Our civilization has advanced rapidly, and we've recently achieved faster-than-light travel, allowing us to join the galactic community. As she spoke, Ilara noticed a growing unease among the council members. Tentacles writhed, antennae twitched, and bioluminescent patterns flashed in agitation. Confused, she paused her presentation. The crystal counselor spoke again, its voice tinged with what Ilara could only interpret as concern. "Captain Chen, these images, they show vast quantities of dihydrogen monoxide on your planet's surface and in your atmosphere. How is this possible?" Ilara blinked, momentarily puzzled. "Dihydrogen monoxide? Oh, you mean water?" "Yes, Earth is primarily a water world. It's essential to our biology and ecosystems." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of alarmed exclamations and frantic movements. Several delegates retreated from Ilara, while others activated personal force fields. "Silence," the head counselor commanded, restoring order. "Captain Chen, you must understand our reaction. Water, as you call it, is highly corrosive and toxic to the majority of spacefaring species. It's usually found only in trace amounts on habitable worlds. The fact that your planet is covered in it, and that your species not only survives but thrives in its presence, is unprecedented." Ilara's mind raced as she processed this information. She had expected cultural differences, but this fundamental divergence in biology was beyond anything she had anticipated. I had no idea," she stammered. "Water is so integral to our existence that we never considered it might be harmful to others." A avian-like being with iridescent feathers stepped forward. "How do you protect yourselves from this substance? Surely prolonged exposure must cause damage." Ilara couldn't help but chuckle, though she quickly composed herself. "I apologize, but it's quite the opposite. We require water to survive. Our bodies are primarily composed of it, and we need to consume it regularly to maintain our health." The council chamber fell into stunned silence. Ilara could almost see the wheels turning in the minds of the assembled aliens as they grappled with this revelation. The crystal counselor spoke again, its voice filled with a mixture of fear and fascination. "Captain Chen, I believe we have much to discuss. Your species' relationship with this water raises many questions and concerns, but it also presents intriguing possibilities." Ilara nodded, her initial nervousness replaced by a growing sense of excitement. She realized that humanity's most basic attribute, their very composition, had just become their most valuable asset in the galactic community. "Indeed, Counselor," she replied. I believe this is the beginning of a most interesting relationship between Earth and the Galactic Council. We have much to learn from each other." As the council members began to pepper her with questions about human physiology, water usage, and Earth's ecosystems, Ilara couldn't help but smile. Humanity had expected to join the galactic community as newcomers, perhaps even as primitive cousins to more advanced civilizations. Instead, they found themselves thrust into the spotlight, holders of knowledge that could reshape the galaxy's understanding of biology and planetary formation. The next few hours flew by in a whirlwind of scientific inquiries, diplomatic negotiations, and cultural exchanges. Ilara did her best to answer every question. From the mundane, "Do you actually immerse yourselves in water for cleaning?" to the profound, "Could your understanding of water-based biology lead to new medical treatments for other species?" As the session drew to a close, the Crystal Counselor addressed Ilara one final time. "Captain Chen, on behalf of the Galactic Council, I thank you for your openness and patience today. It is clear that your species has much to offer the galactic community. However, I must also stress the need for caution. The presence of water-based life forms poses potential risks that we must carefully manage." Ilara nodded solemnly. "I understand, Counselor. Earth is committed to ensuring the safety of all species as we integrate into the galactic community. We're prepared to work with you to develop protocols for interaction and containment where necessary." "Very well," the Counselor replied. "We shall establish a special committee to oversee Earth's integration and to study the potential applications of your water-based biology. Captain Chen, we would be honored if you would serve as the liaison between Earth and this committee." Ilara's heart swelled with pride. "The honor is mine, Counselor. I accept." As she left the council chambers, Ilara's mind was already racing with the implications of the day's events. Humanity had stepped onto the galactic stage, not as novices, but as bearers of unique knowledge and abilities. The challenges ahead were enormous, but so were the opportunities. She tapped her communicator. "Chen to Earth Command. You're not going to believe the day I've had. The galactic water crisis." 6 months after Captain Ilara Chen's groundbreaking address to the Galactic Council, the initial shock of humanity's water-based biology had given way to a frenzy of scientific inquiry and diplomatic maneuvering. Earth had become the focal point of galactic attention, with delegations from hundreds of worlds clamoring for access to human experts and Earth's vast water resources. Dr. Zara Patel, Earth's leading xenobiologist, found herself at the center of this storm. As she prepared for yet another presentation to the Galactic Science Academy, she couldn't help but marvel at how quickly the universe had changed for humanity. "Dr. Patel, they're ready for you," her assistant, a young scientist named Alex, informed her. Zara nodded, straightening her lab coat. "Thank you, Alex. Let's go make some aliens question everything they thought they knew about biology." The lecture hall was packed with beings from across the galaxy. Some wore elaborate containment suits to protect themselves from the trace amounts of water vapor in the air, while others seemed completely at ease in Earth's atmosphere. "Esteemed colleagues," Zara began, her voice calm despite the butterflies in her stomach. "Today, we'll be discussing the potential applications of water-based biochemistry in treating a range of conditions affecting non-water-based life forms." As she delved into her presentation, Zora could see the mix of fascination and skepticism on the faces, or equivalent sensory organs, of her audience. She explained how water's unique properties as a solvent could be harnessed to create new drug delivery systems, how its ability to regulate temperature could lead to breakthrough treatments for species struggling with thermal regulation, and how studying Earth's water cycle could inform new approaches to resource management on water-scarce worlds. Just as she was hitting her stride, an urgent message flashed across her datapad. She faltered for a moment, reading the news with growing alarm. "I apologize," she said to the audience, "but I've just received word of an emerging crisis that requires our immediate attention. It seems that a water containment failure has occurred on the Galactic Council space station." The room erupted in panic. Zara raised her hands, calling for calm. Please, remain seated. Earth's emergency response team is already en route. This is precisely why we've been pushing for improved safety protocols in mixed biology environments. As the audience settled, a holographic communication channel opened in the center of the room. Captain Chen's face appeared, looking haggard but determined. Dr. Patel, Ilara said, her voice tight with stress. We need you on the council station immediately. The containment breach is worse than we initially thought. Several delegates have been exposed, and we're dealing with severe cases of water toxicity. Zara's mind raced. This was the nightmare scenario they'd been preparing for, but hoping would never happen. I'm on my way, Captain. Have you implemented Protocol Omega? Ilara nodded. Yes, we've isolated the affected areas and established emergency dry zones, but we need your expertise to treat the victims and prevent further contamination. Understood. I'll bring my team and our experimental desiccation units. Zara turned to the still stunned audience. I apologize, but duty calls. This crisis is a stark reminder of the challenges we face in integrating water-based and non-water-based civilizations. But it's also an opportunity to put our research into practice and save lives. As Zara and her team rushed to board the emergency shuttle, she couldn't help but feel the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. The galaxy's fears about water had just been realized, and it was up to humanity to prove that they could be trusted to handle this powerful, life-giving, yet potentially deadly substance. The journey to the council station was tense. Zara used the time to brief her team and run through emergency protocols. As they docked, the severity of the situation became immediately apparent. The station's corridors were eerily empty, with emergency force fields shimmering at regular intervals to contain the spread of water vapor. Ilara met them at the airlock, her face grim. Thank you for coming so quickly, Dr. Patel. We've managed to evacuate most of the station, but we have 12 delegates in critical condition and another 30 showing signs of water exposure. Zara nodded, her mind already formulating treatment plans. Take me to them. Alex, start setting up the desiccation units in the main medical bay. The rest of you, begin atmospheric scrubbing procedures. As they made their way to the medical bay, Zara saw the fear in the eyes of the few remaining alien staff. She realized that humanity's actions in the next few hours would determine not just the fate of the exposed delegates, but potentially Earth's standing in the galactic community. The medical bay was a scene of controlled chaos. Beings of various species lay on beds, their bodies showing signs of water damage. Swollen appendages, discolored skin, and in some cases, partial dissolution of external layers. Zara immediately went to work, her hand steady as she assessed each patient and began treatments. We need to remove all traces of water from their systems, she instructed her team. Use the molecular sieves for the gaseous species and the hypertonic solutions for the liquid-based life forms. Hours passed in a blur of activity. Zara lost track of time as she moved from patient to patient, adjusting treatments, monitoring responses, and improvising solutions for species she'd never encountered before. Through it all, she marveled at water's power, both to harm and to heal. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, Zara stepped back and allowed herself a moment to breathe. The crisis wasn't over, but the immediate danger had passed. All exposed delegates were stable, and the station's atmosphere had been restored to safe levels. Ilara approached her, exhaustion evident in her posture. Dr. Patel, I don't know how to thank you. You and your team have just averted what could have been a diplomatic catastrophe. Zara managed a tired smile. We're not out of the woods yet, Captain. The physical crisis may be contained, but we still have to deal with the political fallout. As if on cue, a holographic projection appeared in the center of the medical bay. It was the Crystal Counselor, its facets glinting with what Zara had learned to recognize as concern. Captain Chen, Dr. Patel, the counselor's voice resonated through the room. On behalf of the Galactic Council, I extend our deepest gratitude for your swift and effective response to this crisis. You have demonstrated not only your expertise in handling water-related emergencies, but also your commitment to the safety of all galactic citizens. Zara and Ilara exchanged glances, both sensing that there was more to come. The counselor continued, its tone growing more serious. However, this incident has raised serious concerns among many member worlds. There are calls for stricter regulations on water transport and usage, and some are even suggesting that Earth's integration into the galactic community should be delayed. Zara felt her heart sink, but Ilara stepped forward, her voice firm. Counselor, with all due respect, this incident proves exactly why Earth's expertise is crucial to the galactic community. No other world has our experience in safely managing water resources and treating water-related injuries. Instead of isolation, we should be pushing for greater cooperation and knowledge sharing. The counselor was silent for a moment, its crystalline structure shifting in what Zora had come to recognize as deep thought. Your point is well taken, Captain Chen. Perhaps this crisis can serve as a catalyst for change. Dr. Patel, would you be willing to lead a galactic initiative on water safety and xenobiology? Zara blinked, surprised by the sudden offer. She looked around the medical bay, at the recovering patients and her dedicated team, and knew her answer. It would be my honor, Counselor. We have much to learn from each other, and only by working together can we ensure the safety and prosperity of all species in the galaxy. As the hologram faded, Zara turned to Ilara. Well, Captain, it seems our adventure is just beginning. Ilara grinned, the stress of the past hours giving way to excitement about the future. Indeed, Doctor. Who would have thought that the key to humanity's place in the galaxy would be the very substance that covers most of our planet? As they left the medical bay to begin the monumental task of reshaping galactic policy on water management, Zara couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. Humanity had faced its first major test in the galactic community and had risen to the challenge. The road ahead would be difficult, but they had proven that with ingenuity, compassion, and a deep understanding of their aquatic heritage, they could overcome any obstacle the universe threw their way. The water crisis had been a baptism by fire for humanity's galactic relations, but from its turbulent depths, a new era of cooperation and scientific advancement was emerging. And Zara Patel, once a simple xenobiologist from Earth, found herself at the forefront of a revolution that would ripple across the stars. Humanity's aquatic innovations. 1 year after the water crisis on the Galactic Council station, Earth had become the unlikely nexus of a new era in interstellar cooperation. The planet's oceans, once seen as a terrifying hazard by alien species, were now recognized as a wellspring of untapped potential. Dr. Zara Patel's Galactic Water Initiative had grown from a crisis response team into a thriving research collective, drawing scientists from across the cosmos to study Earth's aquatic resources. On a warm summer day, Zara stood on the deck of the Poseidon, a state-of-the-art research vessel floating in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Around her, a motley crew of human and alien scientists worked in harmony, their diverse biology necessitating an array of specialized equipment and containment suits. Dr. Patel called out Xandra, a gaseous being from the methane swamps of Nebula 6. Her containment suit shimmered as she approached, excitement evident in the rapid swirling of her vaporous form. You must see this. We've made a breakthrough in the coral regeneration project. Zara followed Xandra to a large tank on the ship's lower deck. Inside, a vibrant array of coral swayed gently in the artificial current, but what caught Zora's eye was the faint blue glow emanating from the coral's edges. We've successfully integrated bioluminescent genes from deep-sea creatures into the coral's DNA, Xandra explained, her voice filled with pride. This not only makes them more resistant to temperature changes, but also allows them to photosynthesize in deeper, darker waters. Zara's mind raced with the implications. This could revolutionize reef restoration efforts across Earth, and potentially on other worlds too. Exactly. Xandra's gaseous form pulsed with excitement. Imagine adapting this technology to create sustainable light sources for aquatic colonies on other planets. We could establish entire underwater civilizations. As they discussed the possibilities, an alert chimed on Zora's communicator. Dr. Patel, please report to the bridge. We have an incoming transmission from the Galactic Council. Zora hurried to the bridge, her mind still buzzing with the coral breakthrough. When she arrived, she found Captain Chen already in conversation with the holographic image of the Crystal Counselor. Ah, Dr. Patel. Excellent timing. The counselor's resonant voice filled the room. We've received a distress signal from the colony on Aquarius 9. They're facing a severe water shortage due to unexpected geological activity. Given your expertise, we'd like your team to lead the relief effort. Zara and Ilara exchanged glances. This was an opportunity to put their research into practical application on a galactic scale. We'd be honored, Counselor, Zara replied. But Aquarius 9 is primarily a gas giant with floating colonies. How do you propose we transport enough water to make a difference? The counselor's crystalline structure shimmered. That, Dr. Patel, is precisely why we need your innovative thinking. The situation calls for more than just water delivery. It requires a sustainable solution. As the transmission ended, the bridge erupted into a flurry of activity. Zara turned to Ilara, her eyes gleaming with determination. Captain, I think it's time we unveiled Project Hydra. Ilara's eyebrows shot up. Are you sure it's ready? We've only run simulations so far. Zara nodded. There's no better time to test it. Assemble the team. We're going to need everyone's expertise for this. Over the next few hours, the Poseidon became a hive of activity. Scientists from various disciplines huddled together, refining plans and running last-minute calculations. At the center of it all was Project Hydra, an ambitious plan to create self-sustaining water cycles on water-scarce worlds. As the ship prepared to depart for Aquarius 9, Zara addressed the assembled team. What we're about to attempt has never been done before. We're not just delivering water. We're going to teach a gas giant how to make its own. The journey to Aquarius 9 was tense but productive. The team worked around the clock, adapting Project Hydra to the specific conditions of the gas giant. They studied atmospheric compositions, gravitational fields, and the unique ecology of the floating colonies. As they approached Aquarius 9, the true scale of the crisis became apparent. The once thriving floating cities now drifted listlessly in the planet's upper atmosphere, their water reservoirs dangerously low. Begin Phase 1, Zora commanded as the Poseidon took up position above the largest colony. Massive canisters were deployed from the ship, descending into the planet's atmosphere. But instead of water, they contained a carefully engineered mixture of bacteria and algae, specially adapted to thrive in the unique chemical soup of Aquarius 9 skies. Phase 2, Initiate. Ilara called out. A series of energy pulses shot out from the Poseidon, catalyzing a chain reaction in the planet's atmosphere. The introduced microorganisms began to multiply rapidly, converting the abundant hydrogen and oxygen in the atmosphere into water vapor. For several tense hours, nothing seemed to happen. Then, slowly but surely, clouds began to form around the colonies. A collective cheer went up on the bridge as the first droplets of water began to fall. It's working, Xandra exclaimed, her gaseous form swirling with joy. We're making it rain on a gas giant. But Zara knew their work was far from over. Now comes the hard part, she said, her voice steady. We need to establish a sustainable water cycle. Over the next week, the team worked tirelessly, fine-tuning the atmospheric composition, introducing water-capturing technologies to the colonies, and teaching the local inhabitants how to maintain the delicate balance they had created. As the crisis abated and the colonies began to flourish once more, Zara stood on the observation deck of the Poseidon, watching the newly formed clouds swirl around the floating cities of Aquarius 9. Ilara joined her, a look of awe on her face. You know, when I first joined the space program, I never imagined I'd be part of making it rain on a gas giant. Zara chuckled. It's incredible, isn't it? We came into the galactic community thinking we were behind in so many ways. Yet here we are, using our understanding of Earth's most basic resource to reshape worlds. As they watched, a transmission came through from the Crystal Counselor. Its voice was filled with what could only be described as astonishment. Dr. Patel, Captain Chen, the Council has been monitoring your progress. What you've achieved on Aquarius 9, it's revolutionary. You've not only saved a colony, but potentially opened up countless new worlds for habitation. Zara felt a swell of pride, not just for herself, but for all of humanity. Thank you, Counselor. But this is just the beginning. With Project Hydra, we can help water-scarce worlds across the galaxy develop their own sustainable water cycles. The Counselor's next words took both Zara and Ilara by surprise. The Council agrees. We would like to propose the establishment of a new Galactic Institute of Hydrological Studies, with Earth as its headquarters. Your world's expertise in water management and your innovative approach to sharing this knowledge make you uniquely qualified to lead this initiative. As the implications of the Counselor's words sank in, Zara and Ilara exchanged incredulous looks. What had started as a potential diplomatic disaster with the revelation of Earth's water-based biology had led to humanity spearheading the new era of galactic terraforming and resource management. We would be honored, Counselor, Zara replied, her voice steady despite the emotion she felt. Earth stands ready to share our knowledge and learn from our galactic neighbors. Together, we can ensure that no world need ever face a water crisis again. As the transmission ended, Zara turned to Ilara, a mix of excitement and determination in her eyes. Well, Captain, it looks like our mission just got a lot bigger. Ilara grinned. Indeed, Doctor. Who would have thought that humanity's ticket to the stars would be the very substance that covers most of our planet? As the Poseidon prepared to return to Earth, Zara couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. Humanity had taken its first steps into the galactic community not as conquerors or supplicants, but as innovators and problem solvers. The challenges ahead were immense, but with each world they helped, each crisis they solved, they were proving that humanity's greatest strength lay not in technology or military might, but in their ability to adapt, innovate, and cooperate. The universe, it seemed, was not just a vast ocean of stars waiting to be explored. It was a tapestry of diverse worlds, each with its own unique challenges and beauty. And humanity, with its deep connection to water and its newfound place in the galactic community, was uniquely positioned to help weave that tapestry into something even more magnificent. As the gas giant Aquarius 9 receded in the viewport, its new water cycle a testament to human ingenuity, Zara knew that this was just the beginning. The galaxy was vast, and there were countless worlds out there waiting for the touch of Earth's water magic. With a smile, she turned to her team, ready to face whatever challenges the universe had in store for them next. Interstellar diplomacy and cultural exchange. 5 years after the groundbreaking mission to Aquarius 9, Earth had become a bustling hub of galactic activity. The Galactic Institute of Hydrological Studies, headquartered in the sprawling underwater city of New Atlantis, had attracted scientists, diplomats, and curious visitors from across the cosmos. What was once feared as a dangerous substance had become the cornerstone of Earth's contribution to galactic science and culture. Ambassador Kai Nakamura stood at the entrance of the Institute's grand atrium, nervously adjusting his ceremonial robes. Today marked the opening of the first Galactic Water Culture Exhibition, a monumental event showcasing the diversity of water-related practices and technologies from hundreds of worlds. Ready for your big speech, Ambassador? Captain Ilara Chen, now Admiral Chen of Earth's growing interstellar fleet, approached with a reassuring smile. Kai took a deep breath. As ready as I'll ever be. I just hope I don't cause an interplanetary incident by accidentally splashing anyone. Ilara chuckled. Don't worry. After 5 years, most of our visitors have gotten used to the idea of water being everywhere. Besides, Dr. Patel's new force field technology should keep everyone nice and dry. As if on cue, Dr. Zora Patel joined them, her usually pristine lab coat splattered with what looked suspiciously like bioluminescent algae. "Sorry I'm late. We had a small situation in the xenobiology lab. Nothing to worry about, just some overenthusiastic glowing plankton." Before Kai could inquire further, the atrium doors swung open, revealing a spectacular scene. The vast space had been transformed into a wonderland of aquatic displays. Holographic waterfalls cascaded down the walls, while anti-gravity spheres of water floated gracefully through the air, each containing miniature ecosystems from different worlds. Delegates from across the galaxy filed in, their diverse forms a testament to the incredible variety of life in the universe. Some wore elaborate waterproofing suits, while others moved comfortably through the mist-filled air. Kai stepped up to the podium, feeling the weight of Earth's future in the galactic community on his shoulders. As he began to speak, his voice carried clearly through the atrium. "Distinguished delegates, honored guests, citizens of Earth and beyond, welcome to the first Galactic Water Culture Exhibition. 5 years ago, when humanity first stepped onto the galactic stage, we never imagined that our most abundant resource would become our greatest contribution to interstellar society." As Kai continued his speech, highlighting the advances made possible through galactic cooperation, he couldn't help but marvel at the scene before him. Beings that once feared the mere mention of water were now eagerly exploring the exhibits, exchanging ideas, and even cautiously sampling Earth cuisines based on aquatic life. Near a display of water purification technology, a group of methane-breathing Sorksians engaged in animated discussion with human hydrologists. In another corner, crystalline beings from the silicon deserts of Obsidius Prime marveled at a demonstration of water's erosive power, seeing potential applications for their own world's mineral extraction processes. As the opening ceremony concluded and the delegates dispersed to explore the exhibits, Kai found himself approached by an unexpected visitor. The Crystal Counselor, in person for the first time on Earth, its facets refracting the light from the surrounding water displays. Ambassador Nakamura, the counselor's resonant voice carried a note of warmth. "I must commend you and your people. When we first learned of Earth's water-based biology, many in the council feared it would make integration impossible. Yet here we are, 5 years later, and you've turned that very challenge into your greatest strength." Kai bowed slightly, honored by the counselor's words. "Thank you, Counselor. We've learned so much from our galactic neighbors. This exhibition is as much a celebration of their willingness to embrace new ideas as it is of our own innovations." As they walked through the exhibits, the counselor's crystalline form shimmered with what Kai had learned to recognize as deep thought. "There is, however, a matter of some concern I wish to discuss with you privately." Kai felt a flutter of anxiety, but kept his composure. "Of course, Counselor. What troubles you?" The counselor led them to a quiet corner, away from the bustle of the main exhibition. "We've received reports of a new faction emerging in the outer reaches of the galaxy. They call themselves the Dry Purity Movement. They view the spread of water-based technologies and cultures as a threat to their way of life." Kai frowned. Despite years of successful cooperation, there were still those who feared the influence of Earth and its water-centric innovations. "Have they taken any action?" "Not yet," the counselor replied, "but their rhetoric is growing more heated. There are whispers of plans to sabotage water-dependent colonies or even launch attacks on water-rich worlds." The implications sent a chill down Kai's spine. Earth's gift to the galaxy, the very substance that had elevated humanity's status in the cosmic community, could now become a target for extremists. "What do you propose we do?" Kai asked, his mind already racing with potential diplomatic approaches. The counselor's facets shifted in a pattern Kai had come to associate with determination. "The Council believes that the best defense against fear and ignorance is knowledge and understanding. We would like Earth to spearhead a new initiative, a galactic tour of the Hydrological Institute's key projects. Show the galaxy not just the power of water, but the power of cooperation and mutual respect. Kai nodded slowly, seeing the wisdom in the approach. A grand voyage of discovery and diplomacy. It's ambitious, but I believe we can make it work. We'll need to assemble a diverse team, not just from Earth, but from water-scarce worlds as well. As they rejoined the exhibition, Kai's mind was already whirling with plans. He caught the eye of Admiral Chen and Dr. Patel, gesturing for them to join him. This new challenge would require the best minds Earth had to offer. Admiral, Doctor, Kai began as they huddled together. How would you like to take the show on the road? It seems the galaxy needs a reminder of what we can achieve when we work together, across biology, across cultures, across the vast distances of space. Ilara's eyes lit up with the prospect of a new adventure, a voyage to the stars, showcasing Earth's water magic. Count me in. Zara nodded enthusiastically. Think of the research opportunities. We could study water's effects on so many different environments, adapt our technologies to new challenges. As the three of them began to plan, the Crystal Counselor watched with what could only be described as satisfaction. The path ahead would not be easy, but if any species could navigate the turbulent waters of galactic politics and turn potential conflict into an opportunity for growth, it was these remarkable humans. The exhibition continued around them, a vibrant testament to the power of water to bridge gaps between worlds and cultures. And as news of the upcoming Galactic tour spread through the gathered delegates, there was a palpable sense of excitement and hope. Earth, once a tiny blue marble on the edge of an unremarkable galaxy, was about to embark on its grandest adventure yet. Armed with nothing more than water, wisdom, and an unquenchable spirit of exploration, humanity was ready to show the universe that the ties that bind us are stronger than the differences that divide us. As the day drew to a close and the last of the delegates departed, Kai stood once more in the atrium, gazing at the holographic display of the Milky Way. Each pinprick of light represented not just a star, but a potential friend, a lesson to be learned, a problem to be solved. With a smile, he turned to his companions. Well, my friends, it seems we have a galaxy to explore and some minds to change. Shall we begin? And with that, the next chapter in humanity's cosmic adventure was about to unfold, carried forward on a wave of determination, innovation, and the ever-present flow of water that had shaped their world and would now help shape their destiny among the stars. A new era of galactic cooperation. The Starship Aquarius, Earth's most advanced vessel and a floating embassy of human innovation, glided silently through the star-studded vastness of space. Its hull gleamed with a pearlescent sheen, a result of the bioengineered algae coating that served as both protection and a revolutionary propulsion system. Inside, a crew of Earth's finest scientists, diplomats, and explorers prepared for their most ambitious mission yet. A grand tour of the galaxy to showcase the power of water and the spirit of cooperation. On the bridge, Admiral Ilara Chen sat in the captain's chair, her eyes fixed on the swirling blue-green planet growing larger in the viewscreen. Approaching. On the bridge, Admiral Ilara Chen sat in the captain's chair, her eyes fixed on the swirling blue-green planet growing larger in the viewscreen. Approaching Nexus Prime, everyone. This is our first major stop on the tour. Let's make it count. Ambassador Kai Nakamura nodded, his normally calm demeanor tinged with excitement. Nexus Prime is a melting pot of galactic cultures. If we can win them over here, word will spread faster than we could have hoped. Dr. Zara Patel rushed onto the bridge, her arms full of holographic displays. Admiral, Ambassador, you need to see this. I've been analyzing the atmospheric data from Nexus Prime, and I think we have an opportunity to do more than just showcase our technology. As Zara explained her findings, Ilara and Kai exchanged looks of amazement. What had started as a diplomatic mission was about to become something much more significant. The Aquarius descended through Nexus Prime's swirling atmosphere, touching down in the planet's capital city, a sprawling metropolis of crystalline spires and hovering platforms. As the crew disembarked, they were met by a delegation of local officials. Their diverse forms a testament to the planet's multicultural nature. "Welcome, representatives of Earth," the lead delegate, a beam of shifting plasma contained within an ornate exosuit, greeted them. "We've heard much about your water mastery. I am Zixlara, First Minister of Nexus Prime." Kai stepped forward, bowing in the traditional Earth manner. "First Minister Zixlara, we are honored by your welcome. We come not just to share our knowledge, but to learn from the incredible diversity of Nexus Prime." As the formal greetings concluded, Zora could hardly contain her excitement. "First Minister, with your permission, we'd like to propose a joint project. Our scans have detected an imbalance in your planet's hydrological cycle. We believe we can help restore it, creating a more stable climate for all of Nexus Prime's inhabitants." Zixlara's plasma form swirled with interest. "An ambitious proposal, Dr. Patel. But how can we be sure this water magic of yours won't disrupt the delicate balance our various species have struck?" It was Ilara who answered, her voice carrying the authority of her years of command. "First Minister, what we propose is not magic, but a careful application of science and cooperation. We would work hand in hand with your own experts, adapting our techniques to the unique needs of each species on Nexus Prime." Over the next few weeks, the crew of the Aquarius worked tirelessly alongside the scientists and engineers of Nexus Prime. They set up atmospheric processors, introduced carefully engineered microorganisms to purify polluted waterways, and even created localized climate domes for species that required specific environmental conditions. The results were nothing short of miraculous. Regions once plagued by drought saw the return of rain. Polluted rivers ran clear for the first time in generations. Species that had been on the brink of extinction due to habitat loss found new hope in specially created biomes. As word of the transformation spread, delegates from other worlds began to arrive, eager to see the collaboration between Earth and Nexus Prime firsthand. Even members of the Dry Purity movement, who had initially protested the Aquarius's arrival, found themselves reluctantly impressed by the careful consideration given to maintaining areas for water-sensitive species. On the final day of their stay, a grand ceremony was held in the capital's central plaza. Beings of all shapes, sizes, and biological compositions gathered to witness the unveiling of the Nexus Prime Hydrological Control Center, a joint venture that would ensure the continued balance of the planet's newly stabilized water cycle. As Kai prepared to address the assembled crowd, he felt a tap on his shoulder. Turning, he found himself face to face with a delegation he never expected to see, representatives from the Dry Purity movement. Their leader, a being of living crystal named Axarkhan, stepped forward. "Ambassador Nakamura, we owe you and your people an apology. We feared that your water-based technologies would erase our way of life. Instead, you've shown us that true strength lies in diversity and cooperation." Kai smiled, extending his hand in the universal gesture of friendship. "Thank you, Tsarkhan. Your willingness to open your mind is exactly what this mission is all about. Perhaps you'd like to join us for the next leg of our journey. Your perspective could be invaluable." As Karkhan accepted the offer, Kai turned to address the crowd. The plaza fell silent, beings of all kinds waiting with bated breath, or whatever passed for breath in their respective biologies. "People of Nexus Prime, honored guests from across the galaxy," Kai began, his voice carrying across the plaza. "What we've achieved here is more than just a feat of engineering or diplomacy. It's a testament to the power of cooperation, to the idea that our differences are not obstacles to be overcome, but strengths to be celebrated." He gestured to the diverse crowd before him. "Look around you. In this plaza stand beings who breathe air, methane, and even stellar plasma. Some of you thrive in water, while others would dissolve at its touch. Yet here we all are, united in our desire to build a better future for all." As Kai spoke, holographic displays lit up around the plaza, showing images of the transformed Nexus Prime. Lush forests where deserts once stood, clear skies above once polluted cities, and species long thought lost thriving in their new habitats. Earth's journey to the stars began with fear. Your fear of our water, our fear of the unknown. But look at what we've accomplished by moving past that fear. The technology that restored balance to Nexus Prime isn't just Earth's achievement. It's the result of galactic cooperation, of combining our knowledge with yours. Kai's voice swelled with emotion as he reached the climax of his speech. This is just the beginning. The challenges we face as a galactic community are great, but so is our potential. Water, the substance that once divided us, has become the symbol of what unites us. The flow of ideas, the adaptability of life, the power of working together. As Kai's words echoed across the plaza, a cheer went up, a cacophony of voices, whistles, and other vocalizations from hundreds of species. It was a moment that would be remembered for generations, the day when the galaxy truly began to see itself not as a collection of separate worlds, but as a united cosmos. Back on the Aquarius, as the crew prepared for their next destination, Ilara, Zara, and Kai gathered on the observation deck, watching the glittering expanse of Nexus Prime recede beneath them. You know, Zora mused, when we first set out on this mission, I thought we were just going to be showing off our water technology. But this is so much more. Ilara nodded, a smile playing on her lips. We're not just changing planets, we're changing minds. Every world we visit, every species we work with, we're building bridges across the cosmos. Kai gazed out at the stars, each one now holding the promise of new adventures, new friendships, and new possibilities. It's funny, isn't it? Humanity spent so long looking up at the stars, wondering if we were alone. And now, here we are, bringing worlds together. As the Aquarius jumped to light speed, its destination set for the next world in need of their unique blend of diplomacy and innovation, the three friends shared a moment of quiet appreciation. They had set out to showcase Earth's mastery of water, but they were achieving something far greater. They were teaching the galaxy that the true power of any resource, be it water, knowledge, or compassion, lay in sharing it. The stars streaked by outside the viewport, each one a potential new ally, a new challenge to overcome, a new opportunity to prove that humanity's greatest strength was not the water that flowed through their veins, but the spirit of exploration and cooperation that drove them ever forward into the cosmic ocean. As the Aquarius vanished into the depths of space, it left behind not just transformed worlds, but a transformed galaxy, one that was beginning to see that the ties that bind us are far stronger than the differences that divide us. And at the heart of it all was water, once feared, now cherished, flowing like a river of hope across the stars.